In translation, bridge the gap. Communication so real, no cap. A different language for woman and man. Decode the language and you'll understand. Nah, it'll help you out. Rest assured, women have no doubt. Pillow talk, dinner talk. Give you the info to walk the walk. Nah, sometimes it's a foreign language. Now know what's up, don't mistake it. This'll help you every situation. Empower yourself, it's liberating, yeah. Communication, don't need no speculation. Just get that clarification, then reconciliation. Man translation, yeah. Man translation,
yeah. Welcome to Man Translation. Hey y'all, we are back, and we have another. I think it's a hot topic anyway. But
oh yes, indeed it is.
So I've been kind of a little under the weather. I don't know what's going on here in Houston, Texas, but every year they claim like this African dust or something come blowing through. I don't have allergies, but my sinuses was on lockdown. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't get anything through. So I'm still a little, stuffed up. So if I sound stuffy, that's why. But welcome to Man Translation, where we bridge the gap of communication between men and women. And we just talk about all kinds of hot topics and take deep dives into stuff, just to put something on your mind, give you something to think about, and give you some encouragement. Because there's some crazy stuff going on, and it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get any better. So, Hey, I'm Sky C, and this is Dante V. Beyonce stole my moniker. I'm the Renaissance woman. That's one of my monikers, Renaissance woman, because we are in the time of Renaissance. And if y'all don't know what the Renaissance time was, the Renaissance was a time of reinvention. And we are in that time. Whether you know it or not, we're going backwards. And it may be a bad thing, might be a good thing. So, and I know everybody's all nervous and scared and everything, but sometimes in order for you to establish something, you got to totally get rid of or destroy the first thing to establish the second. So that's what's happening. It's going to be a roller coaster ride for a while, and it's going to get real crazy. But I encourage you to just, whatever it is you're working on, whatever it is you're doing, stay focused, stay steadfast, and unmovable, steady as she goes. No matter how choppy the waters get, steady as she goes. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about the strong Black woman. And the reason we're going to talk about that, I get inspiration all kind of places. I could be out somewhere doing something and get some inspiration. I was going in the store and I had a cart. And it was two guys, young guys, I guess millennials, in their 20s and 30s.
I really hate to be grouped in with them, but okay.
And I'm thinking that they're going to like open the door because they see me with the cart. So I said, y'all not gonna open the door? And they looked at me and they said, "You a strong Black woman." And in that moment, because I hear a lot of women complain. I hear Taraji P talk about it a lot. The strong Black woman, and it's a blessing as well as not so much. And I never really kind of looked at it in no perspective really. So I was thinking in that moment, so because I'm strong, that means you get to abdicate your position. We get right to it, y'all. We get right to it.
The short, easy answer, of course, would be no. But a lot of women, not all women, but a lot of them do take that strong Black woman thing very seriously into like the letter of the law. To where as though I myself have gotten kind of like shunned off and cursed out because I grabbed the door for a woman who your hands are full. How you gonna get it? Let me, go ahead of you, grab this door so you can get through. And it is that. Well, I'm a strong Black woman. I don't need no help. I'm good. I got it. So on and so forth. It's like, ma'am, I don't want nothing from you. And a lot of them, some of them, not all of them, but a lot of them think that because you did a nice, kind act for them, you now want something in return. You now want a piece of my time, my phone number, you want something. And no one is thinking that far. I'm just trying to get the door.
I mean,
That's
my
it.
thing, I don't really feed that much into it. You know, like I was saying to you earlier, for me, it's just a common courtesy. And
Right.
so when you don't get those common courtesies, I just feel like it doesn't matter if it was a woman and I saw her coming in. It doesn't, as a woman to a woman, as a common courtesy, I would have held the door open. If it was a man coming and I saw him coming and he was pushing a cart or he had a lot of stuff in his hand. So to me, it didn't even have anything to do with being strong. I mean, the door don't weigh a ton. It's just a door.
No.
It's just the doors on the side of the store. You have to pull them open. It's not just automatic when you walk in. And so I didn't think of it as just this big thing, but like for you to just say, "Oh, you're a strong woman," you know, just get the door for yourself. It's like to me, that's just like it kind of sums up what women are talking about. Men think that
Mhm.
they can abdicate their position as being a man. It's a common courtesy. We don't have common courtesies in the world anymore.
No, because those common courtesies are often followed by you want something. So, but if I do it for myself, I don't have to bother with that. Whether you're just being like the days of just being nice and giving out those common courtesies, whether it's a compliment, grabbing the door, picking up something when somebody dropped it, like those days are starting to diminish quickly.
You know, and I know they did a study too. They were showing like pregnant women on buses how men don't stand up and let pregnant women sit down anymore. So that means
Oh, yeah, I've seen that
that
before.
means
Dude
that
was like,
the perception of men and women that they have of each other is changing. That's what it
mhm,
means. That is changing. But my thing is that just because I'm strong, that doesn't mean I still don't need help.
right.
Women have a different type of women have more of an emotional strength and men have more of a physical strength. And that's why
Mhm.
we do this show because we're bridging the gap. I have something you don't have, you have something that I don't have. You know what I mean? And we are exchanging to make each other better, to make each other better.
Mhm.
Okay? So it's not a competition. I'm so tired of
No.
men and women being in competition. It's not a competition. And then on top of that, um, Saucy Santana just said that, you know, the gay women are redefining femininity. No, you're not. No, you're not. Like, why is it that when you are a natural born woman, I can't talk about any other color. I can only talk about black women because that's what I am. Why is it such an onslaught of negativity that comes towards you because of who you naturally are born to be? You know, I don't have to. What you do is an interpretation of what you think a woman is.
Mhm.
Is an interpretation of what you think femininity is. You see what I'm saying? I don't have to redefine it. You know, it's a part of who I am. So
Right.
if being strong to me as a result basically of my trials and tribulations, if that has afforded me some stick to itiveness and determination and purposefulness, you know, to me that's a good thing. That should not be an affront to your manhood.
It's not, but it's taken that way because when you see when some in some cases when a man sees a strong woman, he immediately asks himself, "Where do I fit in at?"
What you mean? What you mean? You fit in? You fit in where you fit in? You know, it's like okay.
But they're
Men have
looking for
you
they're
see a
looking for
man,
that spot.
he has physical strength and he can pick up 10 boxes and take it in the house. I don't ask myself where do I fit in. He can pick up. He's physically strong. He can pick up 10 boxes. That's what he can do. What that don't have nothing to do with me.
I know that. I get that. But you're talking about someone again who is trying to find themselves. So not only are they trying to find themselves, they're trying to find themselves in or where they can fit in with someone else, rather than just like, all right, well, I'm here, and all right, I made a mistake. I didn't get the door for you. I got you next time. My bad.
I think all of this is it all goes back to lack of identity. It all goes back to people just not knowing who they are. So I'm a woman, and what is strong? Strong is what? An adjective? An adjective describes.
Yeah.
So strong describes woman, right? Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, I'm a woman. You understand what I'm saying? Uh-huh. Whatever adjective you attach to woman, I'm still a woman. Period. You know what I mean? And so I'm not understanding why, because if I'm strong, then that means that you can run me over, because I get that a lot too. When you're strong, people think, oh, she can take it, she can take it, she can take it. So they're going to dish it out and dish it out and dish it out. So that means that if I'm strong, oh, she can handle it. So you can just treat her any kind of way that she can handle it.
Because again, like you said, you're taking advantage at this point. Just because I can don't mean I should and or want to. And
not only that, just because I'm strong, I'm still a woman. Period. Right. I'm still a woman, and I'm still a human being. That's the part that that's the point that I'm trying to make. So that doesn't give you that as a man, you still as a man should say, anybody, whether it's a child or it could have been a boy coming through the door. Hold the door open. And see, that's why those are the dangers of social media. We don't know how to interact with each other in person.
No, we don't. Because everybody's safe behind the computer screen. When you step out there in the real world and you have to deal with real world problems and or situations, it's like, what do we do?
What do we do? And it's desensitizing people to humanity, to the fact that you can't give common courtesy. They don't even give common courtesy down here on the road. Now, a common courtesy is if you see my signal, if you see me signal to turn, or if you see me signal to change lanes, you're supposed to honor that signal. Child, please, you might well turn your signal off. And that's why a lot of people down here that drive don't use signals. Because when they see you signaling to get over, you ain't getting in front of me. What? I need to get over. And that's why you see people have this much space and squeeze and hurry up at the last minute to exit the highway. Because nobody won't let them over. So to me, it's not about that I'm a strong woman and I don't need a man. It's not about whether I need you or not. It's the fact that we need each other. Like, nobody wants to use the word need. You do.
Yeah. No, they don't. But it's needed, ironically. But I think the definition of strong black woman needs to be revamped highly, because it doesn't mean I don't need help. No, you're definitely strong. You're definitely resilient, and all those things. But at the end of the day, you still need somebody.
But the thing is that the resiliency, we always talk about the generational, things passing down generationally. Those are the things that were passed down to our ancestors. If you really look at the history of black women in this country, we've raised, when you read about the wet nurses who would breastfeed, the white women's babies, they wouldn't even breastfeed their own children. Black women had to breastfeed their children. Black women had to raise their children. So black women, the history of us, we have really carried this country on our back. And so, to be called strong is not a down-putting thing. It's a compliment for real. The perception of it is what has to change.
Uh-huh.
The perception of it is what has to change, because it does not give you a license to abdicate your position as a man, and it definitely does not give you permission to run all over me because I'm strong. You know what I'm saying? So the perception of a strong woman, a strong Black woman, really has to change. There's nothing wrong with being strong. Nothing.
Nothing at all.
And why would you not, as a man, come on, as a Black man, why would you not want a strong woman? Why would you want a weak woman?
Because they intimidated. Strong woman is going to challenge you. Strong woman is going to ask you questions that a weak woman wouldn't. A strong woman is not going to tolerate half the BS you can put a weak woman through.
But it's not. But see, that's the whole thing. Being strong or being weak has nothing to do with the amount of stuff you can put me through. Being strong means that you got somebody in your corner that's going to endure, that you can endure with, somebody that you can persevere with. You know what I'm saying? Something, because when you have a vision as a couple, as a married couple, people together, that vision is going to be challenged. Stop trying to challenge each other and be in competition with each other, because there's going to be enough stuff coming up against you, and you want somebody that got your back, that's strong. So to me, when you don't want a strong woman, you're telling me, number one, you're weak. Number two, you have no vision. You have no direction. You don't have any identity. Okay? You're just describing me. Woman, and all that contains is my identity. Just like I tell men all the time, your job is not your identity. It's what you do. It's not who you are.
Right.
And we have a big problem with that in our community and in our culture, because like you were saying before, women bragging about their PhD. Okay, that's great. You have a degree. I'm all for education, but that's not a reason to look down on anybody that don't have their education. So your education does not define you. And when and it's the biggest indicator of lack of identity when you hide behind titles. When you hide behind titles, I shared a testimony about when I was going through, with my children, I was being challenged as a mother. And I prayed and I went to God. And I said, okay, if I put down the title of mother and put down all the titles that I possess, the titles I have in the church, the titles I have in my family, if I put down all those titles, who am I? If I put down my degree, anybody can go to school and get a degree. If I put down all those titles, who are you without all those titles? Who are you? Your job, your degree is not who you are. It's something that you just articulated for. We know plenty of people with degrees ain't got an ounce of sense, because college don't teach you how to think.
Yes, Lord.
College don't give you wisdom. Those are the things that you get through experience. So being a strong Black woman is not something that somebody should be looked down upon. And I'm not going to make no apologies, because it is my trials and tribulations that has caused my character to be strong. And men should not be threatened by that. And women should not be thrown around because they got a degree and all of this stuff. It's just really sad that all of a sudden now everybody is a boss, a queen, and a diva. And that's still not who you are. That's still, you have to give identity to your business. You give your business identity. So who are you? Whoever you are, you got to bring it to the title. When I put down every title that I had to find out who I was. And then I bring who I am to my title. My titles don't define me. Not no award. And I've gotten awards and all kind of stuff. Dante will tell you. So that still don't define me. It's just what I just so happen to be doing at the moment. Why? Because it is me, who I am.
Right.
So We got to get away from, these titles and, acting like, because, okay, that's great. You have a business. That's wonderful. Okay. But, two is better than one.
Yes, it is.
Especially when it comes to business. Now, I'm all for being by yourself and all that. That's all great and gravy. But when it comes to building businesses and building civilizations, you need a partner. Because the time that it has taken me to build my business, had I had a partner, it wouldn't have took as long.
Nope.
So even if you don't need a bedroom partner or a romantic partner, when you building your business, you don't need to take your business and be beating the man over the head with it because he don't know nothing about business. Well, you got a degree and he don't. Be like, come on, look, this how it goes. I'm gonna show you how it goes. Let me go to school. I teach you everything. Remember In The Color Purple? When she learned how to read, she taught her sister how to read. Master ain't let Silly go to school. Her sister went to school. And she came back and taught her everything that she knew. So we got to stop with this lack of identity, because you're really telling on yourself. You're really telling that you really lack confidence, that you really lack a self-esteem, and you really lack identity when you hide behind degrees and hide behind, I have a business and I'm a boss and I got this much money. That, to me, that automatically lets me know you're lacking in character, because people with character don't act like that.
No, they don't. They let certain things speak for themselves.
They let it speak for themselves.
And money ain't it. Degrees ain't it. If you ask them, they'll tell you, but they're not going to just throw that out there.
So, and what y'all going to do when they get rid of the money? They get ready to get rid of the money. I've been talking about this since 2015. I just had a discussion with somebody, because everybody got the buzzword now, recession. We've been in a recession since 2015. We're now in a depression. We're not in a recession anymore. We're in a depression. So you heard it here first. We're in a depression.
Yeah, that's why that hyperinflation and stuff, and gas prices through the roof and everything else.
Because what's happening is the dollar is plummeting. It's going down. So everything else, you don't get as much for it. And then other countries are divesting because the dollar is not worth anything. It's never been worth anything. See, that's the thing. You bring value to everything. And if you don't know not your worth, but if you don't know your value, you can't bring value to nothing. You can hide behind titles all day. You can hide behind designer Fendi, Gucci, all of that. They billionaires. They don't care about, they know you wear your self-esteem and your confidence on your back. They know that without wearing their name, you're nobody. Okay, so when you you should look just as good in a no-name brand as you do in a name brand.
Right.
Because I make the clothes. The clothes don't make me. So when you see somebody that got on Fendi, Gucci, all of that, bragging about what they got, first of all, they're not happy. Because when you are who you are and you identify, you know who you are, you don't have to prove to nobody.
Because also their opinion don't really matter. Well, how you feel about you.
So that's great. That's great that you got on Gucci. That's nice. And Fendi. That's great. All right. And now what? I mean, and that's what's wrong with our community. We're so busy making everybody else's name great. We so busy making everybody else's name and wearing everybody else's name, and you know what I mean? And I'm all for quality. I'm all for it. But I say bring value to whatever it is that you got and whatever it is that you're wearing. I don't need to wear none of that to prove that I am somebody or that I got this and I have that. To me, that's the biggest scam right there.
People don't realize that.
That's the biggest scam. I don't care who you are. I don't care what kind of car you drive. Because, see, people don't realize that stuff that they be having. That's why they be scamming people, because they got to get up every day and pay for that stuff.
Not only that, some of that stuff be leased. Ain't even theirs.
because it's for show.
Yeah, we ain't got time.
It's all for show. So now what? The dollar going to disappear. The fiat currency going to be gone. And now what you going to do? Oh, my God. And this is the crazy part. We talking about strong black woman. We're going to see who's strong and who ain't strong in 5 more minutes. This is the thing that's crazy. Now, when the hurricane came to Texas, whatever the name of the hurricane was, child, one of the things I will always do, this is like a couple years ago, before the pandemic. Yeah, I guess it was Harvey, child. Jessica, somebody. I think it was Harvey. One of the things, this was before the pandemic. One of the things I would do is I would go to the stores and check the supply chain. I will always, Anaya will tell you, I will always go check the supply chain because what's being compromised, you can always tell what's being compromised. See, we forget that somebody's delivering all that food to the stores. We forget that. We forget. You know what I mean? And sometimes I just be like, this plan didn't work because, you see, we're dealing with a narcissistic government, so their plans are not working, but they're not going to stop. It's going to get more sinister and more sinister. So I was thinking about it. I was like, man, they've compromised the supply chain. And then Biden was talking about the infrastructure, but see, he was talking about it in one way, but at the same time destroying it. Do you know how crippling it is that they have totally compromised the supply chain? That means you're not going to be able to get no food. Everything, anything you can possibly think of gets delivered to the stores. Anything you can think of.
You got to grow your own.
So while we sitting back thinking about who's strong and all this nonsensical stuff, we really need to be thinking about what are we going to do? How are we going to galvanize and come together as a people? Because we are in the Renaissance time. I might not like that song that Beyonce came out with, but she's definitely on point when she say we are in the time of Renaissance. She's absolutely right. I've been saying it for probably about a year and a half now. We're in the time of reinvention. And when reinvention comes, what that mean? That means you're in the place of necessity. Necessity is the mother of invention. Everything's going to have to be reinvented. America don't make anything anymore. Nothing.
No, they don't.
Nothing. We're not going to be able to get anything. America is no longer going to be the superpower. China is now the superpower. But see, the way that the recessions work, hey, what's up, girl?
What's going on, Aussie?
The way that recessions work, you don't see the effects of it till 2 years after.
Yeah, just like the presidency. You don't see anything till afterwards.
Yeah, so that's why people don't realize we're in a depression. So you can play with it if you want to, but we're gonna see who's really strong. So I just want to encourage us as women that it's nothing wrong with being a strong Black woman. Long as you know who you are as a person. That's the part. Who are you as the person? Who are you without the title? Who are you without the title of mother and aunt and cousin and prophet and evangelist and apostle and teacher and and businesswoman? Who are you once you put all those titles down? That's what we need to be concerned about. Because if a man can think because you're a strong woman that he ain't got to open up a door, we are way further back than I thought we were.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's straight up and down around the corner ridiculous right there.
It is, but that's where we are.
But see, that's lacking identity. Because when you are a man, when you are a MAN, it doesn't matter whether the woman is strong, weak. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna open that. You're gonna hold that door open because of who you are. We are such lacking in identity, and the desperation is really showing. I'm so tired of seeing people in their 40s and 50s dropping it like it's hot, wearing bathing suits all on social media. What kind of example are we setting? That's not that's not what I call strong. You know what I'm saying? What's strong about that? Because in the days ahead, we're going to have to be strong.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
this thing gonna get
Worse.
like you ain't never seen. It's gonna get like you have never seen before. And right now, people are lost because your job is what you do, it's not who you are. So now that people are resigning and leaving their jobs, they're lost because they don't know who they are. Now, what do I do now? What do I do now? Because you've so tied your identity and who you are with your job. Now that you don't have a job, anymore. Now what it is that you do. And that's what I see. So when Taraji talked about, she tired of being a strong Black woman. No, we can't get tired of being strong. We have to continue to be strong. We have to change the perception of strong. So because I'm strong, you just can't treat me a certain kind of way. That's what it means. Because I'm strong, that means that I do have boundaries. Because I'm strong in character, I do have morals. You see what I'm saying? I do have values. I do have a standard. That's what that means. It doesn't mean I don't need you as a man. Because we do need men and men need women. We need each other.
But it's the wrong ones that give off, they actually give off that message. It's like, I don't need you. It's like, because I have, again, I have the degrees, I have the money, I got the house, I got the cars, like I don't need you. I can get my own door. I can get my own bags. I can do.
But listen to that though. That means this is what I hear when you say that. That means that you were for sale. That means the only reason you were with a man is for material things. So now that you can get material things on your own, you don't need a man. You never needed a man for that. No. When did you ever need a man to pay your rent and to pay your mortgage? You know what I'm saying? How many times you know what I'm saying, you found yourself on hard times. I remember, growing up in the projects, when people couldn't pay their rent, people automatically assume when you live in the projects that nobody works. Well, some people do work. And when you live in
dollar parties?
You talking
the dollar parties?
Not just the dollar parties, but they would sell food.
Right. Okay. They still do that.
They call them rent parties. When somebody couldn't pay their rent, they would put together a little flyer, or they just word of mouth, and they would tell everybody, hey, I'm having a rent party. They would take their food stamps, go buy some food, and sell it to get the money for their rent. That's why y'all need to listen to my podcast, Learning Business from a Drug Dealer. I'm telling you, necessity is the mother of invention. Watch, we're going back to the rebirth, to the reinvention. I've been saying it for a year and a half. I'm the Renaissance woman, because everything's got to be reimagined and reinvented and rebirthed and redone and but you gotta be strong to do it. And we can't have men intimidated by that. Oh, she's strong. Well, she don't need me to do nothing. Yes, she do. She needs you to be the man. Period.
Right.
So let's go to Bible study.
Oh, snap.
There is no such thing as a Jezebel without Ahab.
I better know who Ahab is. I know who Jezebel is.
Y'all that don't read your Bible, let me give you the short version. Ahab was the king. Jezebel was his wife. Ahab was weak and didn't want to do his job as the king. And so Jezebel stepped in and did his job. But she was evil and she was wicked. Now, how many men complain and will be quick to call a woman a Jezebel? Newsflash, can't have Jezebel without Ahab. If the man is not doing his job, the woman gonna step into that position.
Uh-huh.
And then you're gonna penalize her for stepping into the position. And what made her wicked? What makes anybody wicked? What does wicked mean? Wicked means twisted. It's upside. You hear me say this 1,000 times. It's upside down and backwards thinking. That's what wicked is. What made her wicked and what made her evil? Because 9 times out of 10, because he abdicated his position and didn't do his job, she had to step in and do his job. But guess what? Who was doing her job? Nobody. So that means that most of the time, women is doing the job of the man and the woman. Will that make you bitter? Will it make you resentful? Will it make you wicked? It will. Me being strong should not give you permission to do nothing. It doesn't give you permission to do nothing. You still got to do what you're supposed to do.
Supposed to, but for some odd reason they get the excuse not to. Like you said, they give up that position willingly.
Oh well, just let her do it. And I'm not talking about just menial things. We're not talking about just taking out the trash and little things like that. We're talking about leadership. Our children are lacking leadership. So the only leader they're seeing is the woman. And everybody's not a leader. Just like everybody's not an entrepreneur, everybody's not a business person. That's why so many people are failing. Because either you got it or you don't. Can you learn it? Absolutely you can. So, everybody's not a leader. They don't understand that. They have to set the example that, the children are watching what it is that you're doing.
Right.
So it takes a lot of character to stay in your position, while he is, as they would say, displaced. When he's displaced. So when he's displaced, everything else is not in alignment. So we need to continue to be strong Black women, and we need to not make any apologies about it, but it's not about an attitude. It's not about an attitude. It's not about being condescending. It's not about looking down on people. It's about a part of your character. That's what it's about. It's about it's your character is really now ingrained in you because of what you've gone through, what you've had to endure, your diligence about the situation, because you got to hold it down. Because if not, it'll fall apart. And it's a difficult thing to do. We need men to get in their place because men have a physical strength. Women have emotional strength. Men have a physical strength. Those are two different types of strength. But they're both necessary.
Both necessary, both needed. Yep.
They're both necessary. So don't try to hold it against me because I'm strong. Because you feeling threatened by it is not going to change it. You just got to change your perception of how you taking it, how you taking me in.
And that's going to be difficult for some because, again, intimidation is always going to be a thing. It's always going to be a factor to some degree.
The word intimidation is fear. That's what intimidation is. It's fear. Okay. Fear.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid of. I have physical strength. She has emotional strength, but I'm scared of her.
Yes.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
That's what it is. That's
because let me tell you, Ahab never did get the reins back in. Jezebel ended up being destroyed. She ended up dying. She ended up, because she was so wicked, she ended up being destroyed. She came up against the wrong people. She ended up being destroyed. I'm tired of these men versus women discussions. I'm tired of the competition. You know, women should be doing this. Don't worry about what we should be doing. What are you supposed to do, sir?
Yeah, no, you have a lane. Stay in your lane. Don't worry about what she's doing. We have a job. Again, you go to work, you got a job.
Look, what you supposed to do? What you supposed to be doing? Don't worry about what we doing.
And that's also the other issue.
Yeah. And I know women have had to step up to the plate and, you know, become business people and, you know, all of that good stuff. And we've had to, that's just, to me, that's just a progression.
Yeah.
That's just a progression.
Yeah, because women are always willing to do what is needed to go to the next step, whereas men, some of us just plateau.
But like, if you just look at everything that's going on, when I left my job in 2013, this was way before the pandemic. My business is not a pandemic business. I've been in business way before the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? The reason why it's so pronounced is because so many people are doing it. Because why? Everything is shifting. Everything is changing. But this is the thing. We don't have to buy into a system. We can always create our own. That's the beautiful thing about it.
People too scared to create. It takes it's like someone has to get it started, but nobody wants to get it started. And then the person who's getting it started, they don't want to follow behind that person because they don't have certain things. Don't get me started on that.
No, what it is because I told y'all to read this book, How to Sell to a Nigga. Because our culture lacks identity. It's a real book. It's called How to Sell to a Nigga. And I think it was written like in the 20s or 30s or somewhere back up in there. Because as a culture, we lack identity. The only thing we identify as material things. I saw that growing up in the projects firsthand. Oh, yeah. These women, because, growing up, you had layaway. Man, Easter? Oh, my God. These women will be trying to outdo themselves, taking all their money, dressing these kids up in leather suits, 3 and 4 years old in leather. Be sharp now. Don't get me wrong. Sharp.
Hot.
Because they feel like they're missing out. When you feel like you're missing out, what Yvonne laughing at?
Not on the leather. No. It used to be hot.
Listen. Well, not when you in a canary yellow, you know what I'm saying? Leather suit, baby, with the little gator shoes on that you done had on layaway paying for $5 for 6 years. But anyway, what's the downfall of us is materialism. Black people are very materialistic. She always say that. Don't tell your facial expression. I'm telling you, materialism. That's how they get us. Materialism. We don't have, our culture don't have identity. We were snatched from our native. Some of us, a lot of us was already here. Right? We lack identity. So when people lack identity, that's when they brag about their Fendi, Gucci, Louis, all of that. Because we're materialistic. That's how they get us. When people come on social media, what do they show you? They show you the house they renting, the car they leasing, the clothes and all of that stuff. They show you all of that because they want you to, this is what you're missing. This is what you're missing. Oh, and then you want Gucci and all, you run out and get all of that stuff. That's how they get us. Because we lack identity. Instead of us worrying about who we are, we got somebody else's name on our back. And there's nothing wrong with having quality stuff. I mean, I like that stuff myself. But when it gets to the point that you don't know who you are, you got to have on some design or something in order for you to be somebody. That's what I have a problem with. That's what I have a problem with. We have been kind of given the aesthetic, you know what I'm saying, of what we should look like and act like and be like, and you know, and none of it is the mirror image of who we truly are. That's the whole thing about being strong. Being strong is not about even your trials and tribulations. It's really about knowing who you are, and when you find out who you are, you can do. You know what? Let me tell you something. And I'm going to use this word because this is the word. When I look back at all the stuff that I have been through and all the things that I have learned and the lessons that I have learned, it makes you invincible. I am invincible. Everything and everybody that tried to destroy me, I am still here because it made me invincible. And you'll never hear nobody describe themselves as invincible. I am invincible. There is nothing you can do to me. There is nothing that you can say about me. A lot of this stuff that people get all caught up in, that stuff don't even faze me. All that little petty stuff, like really? All of that? Yes, a lot of Black people are very materialistic. They think wearing those labels reflects success. They really do. And it really doesn't. Now, it's nothing wrong with working hard and buying yourself, you know, Fendi, Gucci, whatever designer you like. But when you start everything, oh, look at my rolls and look at my this, it doesn't reflect success.
Yeah, I ain't never seen Mark Zuckerberg or what's the other dude?
None of the wealthy people do.
No, they're just ordinary, whatever.
Because that's not like she said, it does not reflect success. It does not. And can't go through nothing and come on and be petty. And be petty as all get out. Oh, they some of the most petty people. Can't handle nothing. Be on social media arguing with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's great. You got on whatever. Okay. I just want to know who you are when you take all that stuff off. Just like the Flintstones. I'm probably dating myself. It was a show. Dino was in love with this dog that came on TV. She was all beautiful and everything. I don't know if y'all gonna remember, but on the Flintstones, Dino was the dog. Dino was the dog, and Fred, some kind of way got Dino backstage. Got Dino and Bam Bam got Dino backstage to meet this dog, this female dog that was all beautiful and everything. So while he was waiting for Fred, he was standing outside. he was heartbroken. You remember that one? He was standing outside the dressing room. And he was peeping in, and he saw her take her last. She took her wig off. She had on
I gotta find this episode. What?
She took off her little dog wig. She took off her little. She took off her eyelash. Yo, she took off her bow. Yvonne, remember? Yvonne said she had one strong hair on her head, and Dino was mortified.
I gotta find this episode, man. Hold on.
Oh God, Dino was mortified. Child, let me tell you, Dino, he was done. He didn't even want to go in the dressing room. When Fred came to take him in there, he just wanted to go home. Same thing with, I'm going to get you, sucker. When
Done.
Who are you when you take all that stuff off? Who are you without Fendi and Gucci and Louis? Who
Oh my gosh.
are you?
Oh no.
I'm gonna get you, sucker. When she went back to the room, she popped off her legs. She took her hair off. She popped her teeth out of her mouth. Who are you? If your identity is strong, be strong. Okay, you don't need to wear Fendi to be strong or Gucci to be strong. Who are you when you take all of that stuff off? That's what we need to get down to the nitty gritty with it. They felt like they were nobody. The self-esteem is low without it. Self-esteem is non-existent sometimes without it. No confidence. A lot of these people don't have no peace or none of that. It kills you. You are slowly dying a slow death when you try to be somebody that you are not, or you try to perpetrate and project yourself. It is killing people on social media. People are depressed. They popping pills. They don't have nobody to talk to. Most of these people that you keep saying that, what? These people killing themselves. All these young people. And when they do the interviews and talk to them, why? Because they live in double lives.
Mm-hmm.
They live in double lives.
I don't know who they are anymore.
That you don't know who you are. Material things don't make you who you are. It don't have nothing to do with it. Because that's great. You got good. Who are you? Stop letting somebody make you feel bad because you're a strong Black woman and you will be an asset to any man, any partner that's building something. It's only the ones who ain't building nothing, who have abdicated their positions. Don't let nobody push you into a position and into a lane that you don't belong in.
Uh-huh.
I know who I am without this hat and this wig. I got a head full of hair up underneath this wig. I ain't feel like combing my hair because I don't really feel good. For real. But I got hair. Oh, trust and believe it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like between you and Yvonne, we can't do no show when Yvonne come on. It's done.
No, that's you.
We ain't get nothing done. We ain't get nothing done. Y'all, it was a mess.
Oh my God.
I'm so serious about it. Trying to make us feel bad because we strong. The Bible says, let the weak say I am strong. Don't nobody want to be weak forever. You can't build nothing with a weak person. You sound like a fool trying to come up against a strong Black woman. You just told on yourself. You ain't got nothing going on. She said you always have had a head full of hair. Yes, I have. She know. I'm telling you. It's ridiculous. And women walking around Taraji, well, I'm tired of the strong Black woman. Don't get tired of it. Wear it well.
It's hard because you got two different types of strong Black women. You got the women that are actually strong and they're being tested every day. Then you have, I don't want to say the fake, but you have the ones that perpetrate as if they are, and they're throwing titles and stuff out there as a defense. So, I mean, I understand where she's coming from, although I am not a strong Black woman at all. But I understand where she's coming from that aspect of, you just tired of it. You work just as hard as if not harder than some of the men, but yet you get this secondhand treatment. It's difficult. Because
that's the perception. Women are looked at as second-class citizens. And it's like right now, we're gonna talk about Roe versus Wade. Roe versus Wade, I'm gonna go ahead and say, y'all ain't gotta say it, I'll say it. This is not about a choice of a woman's choice. This is about the population of the Caucasoids because they're dying out. They're dying out. It is. They're dying out.
No. I literally just had this conversation with someone.
Yes, they're dying out. White people are dying out. So they don't want them. They don't want the women killing the babies anymore. See, because you can't be with a white person with a black person does not continue their legacy on. It wipes them out. It waters us down, but wipes them out. So this is not about your choice. It's about they are dying out, they're becoming extinct, and it's going to happen anyway because it's scriptural, it's biblical, it's prophetic. They're going to be completely wiped off the face of the earth. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. Black people were the first people on the planet, and they're going to be the last people standing. We're going to be the last people here because you can't get anything out of white. Every color comes out of black. That's why they appropriate our culture, because they're a part of us. I said it. I don't care who don't like it. I could care less about who don't like it. Okay? I care less about it. That's what it's about. So, and this is another example of upside down and backwards thinking. You're trying to say it's your choice. It's your choice. Your choice to do what? Murder? You arguing for the right to kill. You can't get more wicked than that. This ain't about your choice. It's not about your choice in your body. You're arguing for the right to kill a child, an unborn child. Because why? Because now everything, that's what an apocalypse is. Apocalypse means that everything is, see, normally God reveals things a little bit at a time. Everything is being revealed all at the same time. That's what an apocalypse is. So now it's being revealed. A lot of truth is being revealed. It's being revealed that it's 60% white women having abortions. Who knew? 60%. Now they saying we need y'all to have babies because, come on, y'all can't keep killing the babies. It's not your right to choose what to do with your body. Because if it had anything to do with the right to choose what to do with your body, you wouldn't have been forcing vaccines on people. If I had a choice, you hypocrite. Just like the ones that are on welfare. Exactly. I work for the Department of Social Services. There are more white women on welfare. And let me tell you something. It is the poor white women that use welfare, Section 8, and subsidized and low-income housing to become middle class. Facts, not opinions. Facts. It's only our culture that gets stuck there. They have literally used those programs to become middle class. And now guess what? They're trying to wipe out the middle class.
Oh.
Kamala gonna get on TV with her dippy self talking about this is a sad day in America. It was a sad day when they elected you. That was the day that was sad. I said it. I know the record. Okay, listen. You're not going 1 minute on one hand force me to try to take a vaccine, and then on the other hand tell me I got a choice as to what to do with my body. Now make up your mind which way it's going to be. Make up your mind, because you can't have it both ways. No, these people are arguing for the right to murder children. Also, let's go back to church again. Let's go back to church again. In the Bible that y'all don't believe in, there's a sacrifice demon called Moloch that requires for you to kill your baby and sacrifice it to this god of Moloch. When you have an abortion, you are sacrificing your child to this demonic god. That's why America is going through the changes that it's going through, because there's so much blood on the hands of America. You don't get well, suppose it's incest or rape or incest. You're trying to justify murder for a situation that may or may not happen. We need to be teaching our young girls how to abstain. My grandmother taught me chastity. That's why I wasn't promiscuous. I have never been promiscuous. Even though I hung out with the boys, they thought, yeah, she's sleeping with the boys. I wasn't sleeping with nobody. We need to go back to teaching our young girls chastity and how to abstain and what sex is and what it means and all of that. We need to teach our own children. We don't need to wait for schools to teach our children about Black history. That's our job. We don't need the schools to teach our children about sex. That's our job. My grandmother was teaching me about abstaining, keeping my legs closed, not sleeping with a man, and she continued to teach me all up until I got married. We need to be teaching our young girls chastity, how to abstain, how to keep your legs closed. Back in the day, they used to chaperone you when you went out. Thanks to Beyonce and Cardi B and the degradation of the music, these young girls bending over, busting it open at 7 and 6 and 5 years old. You don't even know what you got to be busting it open, Tatiana. I'm serious. So yes, we need more strong Black women to be able to raise these children and these young people, because it takes strength to set the example in a world that's going backwards, in a world that's following everybody else. You better be strong. You're a salmon going upstream. You're going against the grain. I cannot believe people are outraged because they can't murder a baby.
Ooh. All right.
Because that's what it boils down to.
No,
you want to use abortion as birth control. That's what it is. You want to use abortion as birth control. Why do you think a lot of these celebrities can't? I was like, why these celebrities can't have babies? Why they haven't? Black women are some of the most fertile women on the planet. I know I was. You blow on me, I'm pregnant. Chad, here we go. We're pregnant again. Look up, you didn't have 4 kids. Where these children came from? Since when we had a hard time having children? When? What day was this on? That's how twisted society has become. Our moral compass is broken. So this don't have nothing to do with the choice of your body. Murder is illegal, period. It's against the law to murder anybody. That's just plain and simple. Ain't no argument. You want to be able to murder this one, but not murder that one. Come on now. That's it, Yvonne. I don't know what happened. We lost Dante, but he normally closes out the show. We never know what direction this show gonna go in because the show is not scripted. It's not scripted. So we come on here and we really share our heart. I just want to encourage women. I just want to encourage women to be strong. Don't make no apologies for being strong. Your trials and your tribulations is what gave you your wisdom, is what gave you your determination, is what gave you your stick-to-itiveness, is what gave you all the necessary things that you need. Thank you, sis. It's all the necessary things that we need to drive this culture forward. But we come on here, we're trying to pass it down. We're trying to pass down a true legacy. Legacy don't have anything to do with cars and money. Legacy has to do with character first. You can start a business, but then your child don't know how to run the business, don't know anything about the business. Teach your child. Teach them what you know. Everything is learned from mouth to ear. We don't want to be like Dino. We don't want to, when we take off all of our titles, not know who we are. No, we're not going to make apologies because we're strong Black women. It is strong Black women that's been the backbone of America. And don't y'all forget it. And so thank you all for showing up. Like and share. We're trying to build up our numbers on our YouTube channel. And we will see you guys next Sunday. Thank you, sis. Thank you. Appreciate you.